All right, welcome fans of Bob's Retro Electronic Workshop. We are back on the bench today with this TEAC A-170S cassette recorder, stereo, Dolby. You saw me open this all up. I'm going to open it all up again and go through some other things that I need to fix up, and we'll skip right to that. You don't need to see me take it apart again. So I'll skip through that part for you, and we'll be back when I'm done. Okay, so I've removed the 6 screws holding the wooden bottom on. Beautifully made. And we'll take that off and set that carefully aside. And now we're going to go through and remove the 6 screws holding the top on. I don't think this is magnetized like that. Let me get my other bit. Yeah, I already taped the top of those up here, and now I'm just gonna wrap around the ends like this. I just don't want them getting twisted and knocked around now. There is one huge switch on here. It's so funny, the capacitors that are on the power supply board here, they, well, let's try that. Make some room here. Zoom in just a little bit more. They're like banded together. I'm going to take this board off. I think I can just fold it down. Well, that's got a star nut on it. I'm going to put that in the handle hole of my toolkit here. And they are tight, but I think, oh, they're like, are they twisted or are they tied? Let me put my magnifier glasses on here, my reading glasses, so to speak. Yeah, this stuff is all tied in knots, so I can't gracefully get it off. So I'm going to have to snip it. And my snippers. It's hard for you to see, but there's like tie wrap thingies right along the bottom here, and we will just use tie wraps to redo these when the time comes. Man, they're tight. They're like elasticy, stretchy, rubbery things. I don't know that I've ever quite seen that before. Careful you don't snip any of your wanted wires here. And this allows me to flip this out a little bit. Alright. Just knocked my soldering iron out of the holder. That was great. You don't need a fire down here, do we? All right. Yeah, look at the size of these things versus, it's funny, I'm going to check some of these for quality as I take them out. These are all the rectifier diodes, I guess. And the power switch is way over here, off the board over here, in the other corner. Where's the transformer? The transformer is down on the bottom here too. Transformer is over in the other corner over here. And I'm guessing they've got everything so well bundled. Yeah, here's all the AC coming off the transformer. And they go along the bottom row here, all the connections. So see, there's 301, 302, 303, and 304 right in a row. And I've got those on order, but I don't have them. And then there's a 470. And everything on this seems to work okay, but I'm just going to change these because, you know, they're old. I can't see what brand they are from here. YEC, whatever that is. YEC. So yin yang electronics company. So here's my first victim, and I'm going to try. I have a solder sucker soldering iron. I don't have the fancy electric ones, but I do have this one. Got my power strip. I'm going to put one of those real long power strips on here, so this thing probably should just start heating up when you plug it in, or when I plug it in. I don't know why you're plugging it in. I'm going to stick it over here in my illuminator base. I do have like a helping hands workstation thingy. I thought this was a switch. What is that? Something else I gotta look at. Oh, it is a slide switch. Okay, so there's a slide switch under here that might need cleaning. We got to try to get at that. We'll have to lift this off the board and clean that up while we're here. I've got regular D5 deoxit, and I've got regular fader deoxit. I'm almost out of sponge water here. It's always good to keep a damp sponge for cleaning your slobbering iron. Soldering iron. The L is silent in English. American English, anyway. Not to insult any of our foreign friends. Alright, I might have to end up now. See, they've bent the leads, so when they put these recap. Well, yeah. I'm going to go get my capacitor array here. This is, what the heck did I do? C306. Now I should get the parts thing out, and but I'm looking for a single 470. At 3.6 or 6.3, and I believe that's what this one is. So I don't know that my slobbering iron get hot yet. Usually you have to kind of tin these. It's not real hot yet. But if you tin them with solder and a little flux, and you touch that right flat on the joint, yeah, it hasn't gotten hot yet. It's taken a while. This has no on-off switch, so we'll edit through this slow stuff here. Oh, she's getting hot now. And we're going to hit the button. Oh, it's not cocked. Alright. What do they call that? Look at that. Yeah, it sucked it off pretty good. Pardon my language. You want to make sure you melt the whole puddle. I think I got it. Now, I'll bend the lead up straight. I know I got this one good. There's very thick leads on this thing. That guy hasn't come loose yet, so I'm going to just heat it up with my regular tip. If you wiggle it while it's cooling. Okay, so the negative goes to the front. Let's put this in the tester and just for giggles, see how it... This one doesn't do capacitance. I've got a good Beckman here somewhere. I just got to put my eyes on it. There it is. All right. Can you see the Beckman? I don't have a red and a black lead, so I've got to just get a hold of the positive lead first. And the negative lead. These are like the world's worst clip leads too. They're all wonky. All right. Oh, this is supposed to be 470. Okay. .530, so it's out of whack here a little bit. What's the ESR on this? Actually, it's a pretty good cap. It's a little bit, you know, when you're in a power supply and you got a little bit more capacitance than rated. So that's really a good cap. I've seen these YECs before. Yingzhou Electric Company or something like that. Who the heck knows? All right. But the dissipation is more important than the value. All right, so the negative was near the front. I don't know that I have too many other singles. And again, that was a 470 at 6.3. The negative was towards the front. Now you want to be careful when you shove these down that you just don't jam them in there as hard as you can, because you put stresses on those leads. So if there's an offset that needs to be bent, then bend it. But I think this might go right into the same footprint. Yes. So we'll just bend that over a little bit. I know you're having a hard time seeing what I'm doing. Let me get my carbon parts off the bench here. I don't want to rip into my cassette player here. You probably want to see that joint get made, don't you? Maybe not. I don't know. I got it tilted out there as far as I can get it anyway. Clean that tip a little bit. Alright, and I've got some really nice real lead solder here. And you don't need to put a mountain of solder on these. You know, some people just blob the crap out of them. I don't think you need to do that. As long as you see it filling around the base of the layer. Put a little more on there, okay. Alright. Then of course you take your little nippers and that's the first cap. Woohoo! I'm recapping this thing. I've got a lot of them left to go. I think you're going to put the old caps back into the bag, which I don't know what happened to that one. So there you go. Typical me. I'll know it's here somewhere. There's a 100 at 6.3. I've got audio caps here too. I got a lot of extra 10s. I bought a lot of extra 10s. So there's a 100 at 6.3. Ooh, that's a cool green colored one. Look at that. I can't get in the... Here, we'll start down here. And that brand is a... what brand is that? Oh, that is an Ichicon. Okay. That's supposedly a real good cap. That's kind of tucked down here behind these wires, and it looks like the negative is towards this edge. So I'm going to do the same thing. Ah, yeah, she's getting hot enough now. Just takes a while for the big barrel on this to warm up. And I'm going to tin it a little bit. That helps spread the heat. I'm going to cock it. Ooh, a little smoke in there. Doing a hit. Let's see if I got that so I can pry it up. Sometimes just the tip, take a sip on my hot coffee here. It used to be hot. Take a straight flat screwdriver. A jeweler screwdriver kind of a thing. Because it's difficult. Of course, he's tucked way up in behind here too. I'm going to try the old wiggle and set me free thing. Ote, that didn't get it all. What am I going to do? Oh, I know. Just a little bit of solder wick here. this solder up. And they didn't want this stuff to come off. Well, I'm going to have to put a little flux on that. And I'm going to put some more solder on it again. And we'll try sucking her up with the solder wick again. Man, they flattened that one right out. All right, well, you can see the process. So I got that one loose. I'm trying to do this without hurting the pads. Again, I'm wiggling it while I'm letting the solder try to harden here. There we go. There he comes. And that's a 100. That's 6.3. Gosh, this is going to be a ball. Again, let's measure him just to see. He's hot right now. It's more about the dissipation, as I said, than it is about the value. That's a 100. Get the positive lead here. I should mark this with red on the end or something, shouldn't I? See, that's 135. But the dissipation again is low, so really that's not a bad capacitor. I don't know what the heck is wrong with these. These must have got stomped on, is what happened. Let's see what the new one reads. The new fancy green one. If I can remember where the heck I want it. There it is. See what its dissipation reads. It's a negativity. Here's the capacitance of this one. See, this one's at 96, much closer than it should be, and its dissipation is 0.03. So that means its leakage is low, it means it's a better capacitor. Yada yada yada. So now I got to try to get this guy. I'm going to cut the leads to the same length so I can grab them with a pair of pliers, I guess. And see. That's wrong. I think there really isn't a distinctive mark on this, but that is not wrong. That was right, and I goofed it up and moved it, so there you go. slightly because I want to be able to nip him. Looks like he's in good position. Flux the tip. There you go. That's all you got to do. Just a nice small pyramid. And don't let your fly ends cut into it, or fly around any. All right. So, what have I got? I do have one 1000 here somewhere. Well, there's a 100 at 10. And that's an Ichicon. So I'm going to put this 100 at 10 volt one right in there. That's fine. Let's check it. This is old NOS stuff. .98. Dissipation is almost non-existent, so that's a great cap right there. All right, doesn't matter if the voltage is a little higher at all. I gotta find the way the leads go on this though. It looks as though, yeah, it's right there. You gotta be really careful not to bend my slider bars. can see this was all hand built. That's pretty awesome, I think. Back in the day when crafts people, probably little Japanese slave kids, I don't know. All right. So all the caps are changed on the power supply except the big ones. So I guess right now, because that seems pretty secure, I'm not going to reattach that. Or should I? It isn't that hard to attach. So I guess I should put a couple screws in it. Next step. I was going to remove this guy and clean that. Now that looks like a small screwdriver, which I had one here somewhere. That's way too. Not this guy. There we go. I think that'll do it. Sorry, this is getting long. This looks like a slider switch, so I want to keep clean it, you know. Oh yeah. Now, there's a hole there. Where are the actual contacts? The actual contacts are down in here. So I need my DX5. I'm going to go get it. Alright, I'm back. My wife was leaving for the grocery store. I had to go up and get a little nuzzling. Been married 50 plus years, but still love the old lady. So it looks like the terminals for this are in the bottom here. And the only way I can see in is from the ends, because it's like a bar that light rides on a ridge back and forth like this for the contacts. Say my fingers are the contacts, and it, you know, makes connection as it goes back and forth, but it's on like a rail. So just in case that was dirty. Plus this provides a little lubrication. It is coming out, right? Make sure it's coming out. There we go. I've got another can of this, so I'm hoping I can reuse that lid though. I kind of like that lid. All right. Little paper towelage here. I'm going to put this right back together. Just how it was. Now there's a lever here. inside that hole. Like that. I bet it does. Yeah, I'm guessing that's how it works. There's a little slot in the end of this switch. Boy, I should have made note of that, but I didn't know it. Didn't realize it. And I'm going to look for the marks of where this was. Of course, that guy was stuck. So I'm going to leave him alone. The other screw was stuck through there and wedged. So I'm going to assume that's where this was located. Give it a good snugging. Alright. Now I'm going to watch. Yep. Play, it goes that way. You got to have a tape in here for it to actuate something. I got to look at the lid a second here. Dropped another more couple of those. Eject, record, and play. Stop. There's another set of double contacts here. Oh, there's something that could use some lube. It looks like graphite. We will put a smidge on there. Let me go find a cassette so I can put it in there and look at the actuation of that switch. Alright. Drop that guy in. I don't know. How does this sense that we want to play and record? Okay, well there's... Oh. Record. Oh. It's this. There's the play record thing. See it? Just a little rocky thing here, and it goes into this hole. So if I put this guy in here, but I hold him out, now I hit play and record, it goes in. Alright, so we know how that works. And that's the block. And I see the switch is out this way. And there's play. So it does a different thing for record. Block that off again. Yeah, okay, it pulls the switch in when you hit record. And when you hit play, oh, no, that didn't do anything. Okay. But I'm sure that lever went through the little hole in that bar because that's what pulls it. It has to be in front of it. All right. the dreaded Kenny Rogers. Alright, so we've done what we could on the power supply. Actually, sorry I'm back again here. Just looking at different stuff here that has to move. I don't know if oil is the right thing for this. There's the pivot point. That just activates this little switch. It turns this switch on and off. I don't know what that does. It's just a switch. I don't think it needs to be tested, but I will. I'll test it with my brand new meter. My brand new cheapy meter. Wherever I put him, oh there he is. Okay. Function. Okay. Okay, so that guy's a beep. I really should need some clips here. Hold on, let me get some nice clips. And just want to make sure this switch works. So we're going to clip it onto beep. Oh, that's weird. Well, that might be reading something with capacitance. It's the problem. You know what I mean? Through a head or something like that. Because I got 2.8 ohms. And it's hooked up all the time. And let's see if the bottom one acts the same. Let's sneak him in there. See if he reads 2.8 ohms or whatever. Yeah. And that doesn't change either. So I'm guessing that there's a load across that. And I can't get in there unless I got this probe. I gotta touch that other terminal. So when you push it, it opens. And it closes that circuit, which I think disconnects power to the record heads. So you're not erasing something as you're rewinding. All right. The rest of the capacitors are on this one huge circuit board. And I hate to set it so it's on the tips of the sliders. So I'm going to try to put it up on something over here. I don't know what that would be yet. Here's a box, cardboard box. Just so it's not sitting on the shelf, you know, ends of the sliders. Alright. Oh my goodness. My brother's calling me too, my big brother. Okay. Take note of this. It's the glare from this thing. Yeah, I'm taking that off. And that has the washers. And I'm going to put that in the screwdriver multi-tool thing here. because that's all that is. That just hangs out there somehow. Alright. Gee, there's not a lot that holds this, because there's notches. There's two notches right here where it goes into this dividing wall. And it looks like there's a giant multiple switch of some kind here. Oh, good. Good, I can lift that right up and out practically. And then there's all my damn caps. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And E5. There's an op amp right in there. Wow, there's op amps in here. I didn't know that it would be new enough to have op amps in it. But this is the only other circuit board. Somebody said that this big old multi-function switch could be the whole problem. It's going to be hard to get. I think that stuff migrates pretty good. That's fader cleaner. I don't want fader cleaner. I want It ain't doing shit. I'm sorry. It's not doing anything. All right. Good old standard deoxit, baby. And I'm going to try to shoot it right in the end of that switch. Trying to get the hose to where I can fire it in there. This is how you clean your pots too. Alright, well I gotta let that evaporate for a while. I'm gonna suck up as much of it as I can. I don't know how I can do much more. There's no like access holes to squirt down in there. Checking for any broken wires and stuff, I don't see anything. This is an extremely well made piece of machinery here. So yeah, there's a jumbo switch there. Those look like test points up here for some reason. Whee! Are we having fun yet? I am. I am actually enjoying this, believe it or not. You may or may not believe me. Alright, well let's start right from the top. That is a 330 at 25, I believe. So let's look for 330s at 25. For 70. 330 at 25. Look at the size difference. They're just maybe ½ inch tall and 3/8 of an inch in diameter. And on this board, they're that big one. And so I'm going to just desolder both of these while I got them upside down. She blows a smoke ring here. That worked really good. That worked really good. Don't make fun of my cheap solder sucker. Don't diss it. Oh. Sometimes you just gotta hit it twice. Okay. Number of Space Invaders. All right. All right. That one has been leaking. See the brown crap? Crusty around the bottom. Leakage! Unless they were glued. Let's see what this guy looks like. Put him in the Beckman tester here. Supposed to be 330. We're reading over 400. Although the dissipation is super low. So that's really a good cap. I'm going to put him in the junk box. Alright, let's do the other one. Yeah, I think they were cemented down with that crappy glue. Okay, let's see what this guy reads. This guy reads bad, I think. No, he reads good, but his leads are extremely short. But I went through the whole trouble of buying caps, so we're putting them in just so you guys are well entertained. And what's nice is the circuit board is marked very clearly about polarity. That's positive. The arced side is negative, isn't it? Gee. Okay, he does fit the same footprint. The curved symbol side is the negative side. So make sure we do it that way. Yes. These guys are facing opposite ways here. I'm not looking at the schematic to know what these are for. I don't have any choice right now of what they're for. I did buy audio quality caps for all the 10s. The 10s all seem to ones that are coupling caps in the audio circuits. Yes, we're welding the wires on. Alright. Pretty much what we're doing. Kinda. Now soldering, see, is when you melt something around. I'm not melting the base metal at all. So that would not be welding. I just knocked my cheap new meter on the floor. It's probably busted now. Are you going to work for me still? Okay. My bench is still too crowded. There we go. 470. Where are those three? What did I just put in there? $470 at 25. Did I just screw that up? Yep, I just screwed that up. So I got to take those back out. Those are my 470s. There's my 330s. Where did I get the 470s from? Well, they looked the same when I picked them up is what happened. All right. Swell. That's why I don't bend them in super far. not in groups. And the short lead is usually the negative on these. Let's see what we read for ESR and stuff. Put that on 20. 10, I mean, yes, it's reading 9.3. Dissipation of 04. Okay, let's see what the little magic box calls it. Testing. Capacitor. 9.7, ESR of 0.88. 2% loss. Sometimes audio capacitors do have a little bit weirder setup like that. Now this says ESR is 0.04. So anyway, long lead is the positive. And that goes just like that. So I'm going to be doing this for hours, guys. I'm going to let you guys just rest till I find something. If I find a cap that's bad or something, I'll let you know. Well, just some progress going on here. I have gotten all the front end capacitors here changed on this preamp board. Now I'm working my way down to the op amp area, and there's a bunch more caps here, all electrolytics. We're working our way through them. The next one up is this 220, and there's two of them, one on each side, there and there. So I'm just gonna, the solder sucker's working great. I didn't hold it down tight enough. Wiggle it. Keep the lead moving so it doesn't solder itself back in place. See? That one didn't slobber. Here, let me clean this tip a little bit. There we go. See, it just needs a little flux on it. Just get my thumbnail under that. Yep. And the ground side was out towards the edge. These things are much smaller. That says this is the 290, 285. Very low dissipation though. See if it catches this capacitor on here. Yeah, it says this is 310, which is way over what it should be. So that's a sign that they're going bad, is when they get higher in capacitance, believe it or not. Okay, so here's my 220s. put him in the screwdriver holder. So see, he's coming in a little over 200. ESR is extremely low. I mean, it's reading negative on this one, whatever that means. Let's see what the little magic tester calls it. It's interesting to try two different testers here. I know this is getting monotonous, guys. I'm just going on and on and on here. That says 220 right on the balls. And 0.1 ESR. That's a good cap. Now this one needs to be spread out. Boy, this is going to be difficult. It's hard to see the little holes. There we go. So see, I can't press these down tight. I just press them down until they hit the bottom of their bend. And just do what I can do, because the whole layout is totally different than it was in 1975 when this was built. But we work our way through it. All right. And then this guy is right here. There's no temperature control on this desoldering tool. Somebody's booting at me. Maybe put a little flux on that. He's vaping down here. I'm just going to wiggle him a little bit, touch him with the soldering iron. I got all the soldering iron out from underneath it except for a little wick, a little whisper of it. So if you keep them moving, come on. Well, I'm going to have to try to solder wick this guy a little bit. You can tell when your wick is working when the wick turns gray or silver when it fills up with the solder. Gee, that doesn't want to come out of there. Oh yes it does. Okay, what's this big 220 read on this side? The other one read off. Yeah. 290. ESR says negative. I never could understand what that actually alluded to when it goes like that. So I have to offset these leads on this one too. Positive goes in towards the circuit board. Now, if you want to see somebody who really fixes a lot of stereos and stuff, there is a young man has a channel called Fix It, and he's like the stereo Marantz guy. You know, he likes Marantzes, and he fixes all kinds of stuff. I did watch him a lot. I watch a lot of his videos just because it's, I don't know why, watching somebody go through an amp and fix it, test it, kind of cool. So anyway, there we are. We're going to let you go to sleep again. All right, guys and gals and friends and fans, I have made it through. I got to back this up a little for you. I've made it through the one side, the first channel, all the way down with all my Nichicons. I've just got to go back through this side. I got down to the area of the chip on this side. So I've done this and around and down to here. So now I got to do a few here and a few here. I've got one big one here. What is that? That's a 470 at 25. I don't know why it's so big. 470 at 25 is going to be a tiny one. But that's all right. This chip is a NE5458, I think that's what that says. 5458. Let me put my double glasses on here. NE545B, 1977. NE545B, yep. That's got to be some kind of op amp. But yeah, I've worked my way down through here. Let me look with my magnifiers. I did not short anything together that I can see. That shouldn't be. That wasn't. I don't know what these are. These must be test points. Yeah, it says TP. And there's TP over here. They've blabbed them up good. So that's got to be something for the setup. There's a whole bunch of settable resistors here. I'm not going to mess with those. I'm not going to change the tuning, the adjustment pots here. No, no, no. Don't like to run. So as I said, this is obviously hand soldered. There's a zillion wires coming off this switch. Man, I don't know what switches to what. Maybe that's the record preamp. Yeah, it's probably the record preamp. And then so it only switches that in when you're recording. And then when you do playback, it must just feed straight through or something. Don't know. But it looks like the two circuits feed in exactly the same, and then they probably... I don't know the circuitry here. Right and left. L and R is on the board here. Okay. So I'm going to take a break. It is now 20 of 8, and I haven't eaten. My wife brought me home some fresh sushi from the... from Wegmans, which is a local high-end grocery store. All right, guys, we'll pick you up tomorrow on this. Whoa! I'll tell you